not only elders are wearing eyeglasses, but also children at such young age. Some people are born with vision problem, but others, they are affected by ray or radiation from gadgets and technology. Eyeglasses, or most people call spectacles, are lenses held in a frame that helps a person to have a clearer vision. Most people have regained 20/20 perfect vision by wearing eyeglasses, or more specific, corrective glasses. There are many types of eyeglasses, such as corrective glasses.
Hi Betty.
Hi. Sunglasses. (3D) glasses for better movie experience, and also safety glasses for laboratory work, and many more. Most important feature of eyeglasses is the lens. Corrective lenses are the commonly used, and it can correct refractive errors such as nearsightedness, farsightedness, and also astigmatism. Eyeglasses were said to be born in Italy, but the inventor was never known. Venice claimed to be the birthplace of eyeglasses because there was only one factory that was able to manufacture eyeglasses during the 13th century, and it was in Venice. In the beginning, people only used lenses held in front of the eye. Then, a frame was created to hold the lenses, and they were held in front of the eyes or balanced on the nose. The earliest glasses were worn by monks and scholars. In the old days, eyeglasses is a symbol of intellect. During the 17th century, the eyeglasses was made to have a temple of pieces that rest over the ears, so that the wearer will have the better way to handle the eyeglasses. Then, the design changed due to the fashion requirement. Locknet, special made for women who avoiding having spectacles on their face. Locknet was a famous design of eyeglasses during the 18th century as evidence of old and infirmity, having long and single handle, making it look more elegant for women. Eyeglasses continued to develop since 19th century and became a personal need. Due to rapid development, it began to influence fashion, and new material became available, especially plastics. Glasses have established themselves as the most important visual aid worldwide and became the most famous accessories in fashion.
Hey guys, thanks for keeps on watching another video. As you guys already know about the transformations of the eyeglasses from a long time ago until this day, so I want to share more about the productions of the eyeglasses. There are few important aspects that need to be taken care of in the productions of the eyeglasses. They are the raw materials, the designs, the manufacturing process, and the quality controls. So for now, I will first explain what's the raw material suitable for making the eyeglasses. Actually, eyeglasses can be divided into two parts, the lens and the frame. For lens, quartz and berry stone was used as the lens, but due to high demand and less sources, the materials was changed into glass. After some of renovations, the plastics lens was introduced as it can give the benefits of light in weight and prone to breakage. The next item is the frame. For the frame, there are three types of materials that can be used for the production. They are the cellulose acetate, the nylon, and the metal alloy. For the cellulose acetate, or we can call as deal, It was easy to color, it's easy to draw beautifully, but it's also easy to be broke. For the nylon, it's often used for the sportswear and the sunwear. We can see it everywhere. Last but not least, the metal alloy. It was widely used since that it can resist corrosion and strong. The next that we need to know is the designing of the eyeglasses. There are a few considerations and steps in designing eyeglasses. The things that we need to be considered in designing the eyeglasses are the types of lens, the thickness of the lens, the types of materials for the frames, the style of the frames, and what the design that the wearer wants to wear. So, for the steps, the first step that will be taken is something that we call inspirations. After we get the inspirations, we can do the sketch and the preview. Once the preview is done, we can do the prototypes and make the judgment preview on it. And the last thing we can get is the final products. So, how can we get the final products? Stay tuned on us so that we can know more about the productions of the lens.
Eyeglass lenses start out as large plastic discs. The first step is to place a protective film over the convex side, so it won't get damaged while the lab works on the concave side. With a scanner, they retrieve the customer's prescription from the central computer, then program those measurements into the tray holding the discs. Next, they heat up a mixture of 7 metals to 50 degrees Celsius. Any hotter would melt the disc on contact. Out of that molten metal, they mold an attachment. This allows the disc to be mounted on a machine for tooling. At this point, robots take over. When the tray with the discs arrives, the milling machine reads the prescription information, then reshapes the plastic accordingly. First, it thins the disc and shaves it down to a smaller diameter. Then, it creates the required curvature. The disc is now a lens. But you can still see the concentric circles left by the tooling, and the surface of the lens is rough. So, they polish it using abrasive paper under water heated precisely to 19 degrees Celsius. The water temperature must be constant, or else the lens will become deformed. Now that the lens is perfectly shaped, they remove the metal attachment. Then peel off the protective film on the other side. Using a machine called a lensometer, they make sure the prescription is accurate. Next, the lenses go through an automated 15-stage chemical cleaning, then are coated with varnish to make them scratch-resistant. They go into an oven for 3 hours until the varnish cures. Next comes the anti-reflection treatment. This will increase the lens's transparency, allowing in more light. The lenses go into a chamber. They add different powdered chemicals, such as silicium oxide, titanium oxide, and zirconium oxide. They close the door, then pump all the air out of the chamber. Using a high-powered electron beam, they heat the chemicals to the boiling point. The powders transform from solid to gas, coating the lenses in the process. It's finally time to fit the lenses to the frame. They position a suction cup on the lenses to hold them in place during the fitting. An automated machine traces the shape of the frame, then cuts the lenses to that shape. With regular frames, the lenses simply pop in.
Metal frames come in a multitude of shapes from ordinary to extraordinary. It all starts with a computerized system called a 3-axis eye winding machine. A set of rollers pulls metal wire from a big spool. Then, with software-driven precision, the machine bends the wire into the shape of the frame, then cuts the end free. The lenses will fit into pre-cut grooves on the inside. A small part called the insert connects the two ends of the eye frame, holding them closed around the lens. To attach the insert, they put it in a clamp, then position the eye frame just above it. They apply a cleaning agent called flux, then filler wire. An electric current heats the wire, metal frame, and insert until they all melt and fuse together. Now they do the same to what's called the screw hinge, the piece that attaches the arm to the eye frame. Again, electrically generated heat fuses the hinge to the insert. This process, similar to soldering, is called brazing. Now for the bridge, the piece over the nose that joins the two eye frames. A small press bends a piece of metal into the shape of the bridge. Then a worker aligns it with the eye frames in an assembly jig. This ensures the frames are perfectly straight. Brazing again melds everything together. Next comes the piece above the bridge called the brow bar. An automated machine cuts metal wire to pieces the right length, then carves grooves on the ends to enable the brow bar to fit snugly onto the top of the frames. It then bends each piece to the right shape. The brow bar now goes into position. A little flux to remove any dust or dirt that might prevent the metal from fusing properly. Then they brazed a brow bar to the frame. Now come little hooks called pad arms. They hold small pads under the bridge that cushion your nose. A worker fuses the pad arms to the frames using the same brazing process as before. Now for the arms that attach to the eye frames on one end and sit on your ears on the other. The industry calls these arms temples because they're at the level of your temples when you wear the glasses. After stamping the size and company name on the inside, they fuse a hinge to each one and press a plastic sleeve on the other end. They set the arms momentarily aside while they position the lenses in the groove of the eye frame. A screw keeps everything tight and intact. Now they screw an arm onto each hinge. The arms on most models have curled ends that hook over the ears for a more secure and comfortable fit. A special machine called a mechanical cam applies pressure to bend the plastic sleeves to a 45-degree angle. Functional and fashionable, these metal frame glasses are eye-catching.
for the quality control, what can we do? The frame style, the frame color, width and temple, size and dimensions was need to be checked for the frame inspections. Meanwhile, the impact resistance, refractive and reflective index, also together with the lens dimensional, can be inspected for the lens. Last but not least, every eyeglasses need to be, once the eyeglasses have been assembled, they need to be inspected also. The inspections will be on the labeling, packaging and flammability of the glasses. So for now, we're going to conclude what about on our projects of the